In this video, I will explain how to install a landing at the bottom of an existing basement stairway, and obviously this could apply to other stairways built in the similar fashion with conventional lumber, 2x12, 2x14 stair stringers, 2x12, 2x14 stair treads. And the landing width will vary in height and width according to the particular job. Now, the first thing you will need to do will be to remove the lower tread. And after that's done, you can lay out and cut and place a few treated 2x4s. If it's concrete, if it's sitting on top of a wood frame floor, then you could use regular construction lumber. This would be for concrete, and then you would have to fasten it to the concrete. This could be done with shots and pins, pneumatic shots and pins with a powder charge, for example, type of setup, and or it could be done by drilling and installing redhead type bolts, that's the manufacturer, or anchors through the wood and into the concrete. But hopefully you understand that. If you need more information on that, wouldn't be a bad idea to just pull it up on a couple of videos. This video is basically just giving you a step-by-step set of instructions without explaining how to nail and fasten all of these pieces together. After that is done, you can cut and place the joists for the landing or platform, and the joists will need to be ripped down to a specific size. Most of the time, standard conventional lumber just won't work. And I believe for this particular project, the joist needed to be ripped down to 5 1/4, which would be sticking up above the stringers, as you can see here in this video, or this picture here. And then you will simply fill in these areas, but you will need to figure out the specific size according to your project. This project is based off of a 7 1/2 inch rise, and again, there's a picture of it filled in. So if you're using a 7 3/4 inch rise, you'll need to deduct from that also. And I got some measurements at the end of the video that I will go over and provide you with a little more clarification on this. After that, simply install your plywood and you are done. There's your landing. And like I said, this is one way to do it. There are other ways, but this one right here seems to work the best. The next illustration will provide us with a few measurements, and you might not be able to see them very well. I will just go over them. We have a 7 1/2 inch overall rise. So from the top of the 2x12 treads to the top of the landing, top of the plywood, would be 7 1/2 inches in height, and from the top of the plywood to the top of the floor would be 7 1/2 inches in height. And basically how we arrived at the width or the overall height of the floor joist would just be by subtracting the bottom plate and the width of the plywood from the overall rise. So if we have a 7 1/2 inch overall rise and we have a 1 1/2 inch base plate, and that base plate's the part that attaches to the concrete, and then we have a 3/4 inch wide plywood sheathing, platform sheathing, then we just subtract those measurements, which add them together. We have 1 1/2 inches plus 3/4 of an inch. That gives us 2 1/4 inches. Subtract 2 1/4 inches from 7 1/2 inches, your overall rise, and you arrive with a 5 1/4 inch total height joist. So you might need to rip these joists down, obviously. So, and you can get a little creative here. If you, let's just say, have a platform that's going to require a 5 3/4 inch, 5 3/4 inch, let's say, floor joist. You know, you could always get some 1/4 inch plywood or some 1/4 inch spacers and put them in between the base plates and the floor joist or on top to make the difference up. You can get a little creative there. So anyway, self-explanatory. If you're having a problem with it, feel free to leave the question in the comment area. If you have a different situation and this particular method for building a landing isn't going to work, feel free to send me a picture to my website, and or you can get my email address through the website. Feel free to send me a picture, and I will see if I can do another video to help you out. This video was originally made for someone who just sent me a question this morning, so I hope it helps them out. And don't forget to tell your friends about these videos. And stairs, they're not that hard once you get the basic gist of it, you know, kind of what we're just putting measurements up here and doing a little some simple math, multiplying and dividing, and really isn't that difficult. You can do these on your own. And if you don't feel like you can, then you might consider purchasing some of the books we have on our website also. For those are basically real simple step-by-step guides for installing stairs. So check them out also.